Hello, this is Doc in retrospect with more of Super Mario Collision 2, the game that I shouldn't have played because it's clearly a terrible game. But I played it, and I regretted it, but I also know that now, if anyone gets the urge, they can just look at what I did and know that they shouldn't even try. Anyway, this is DeDeDe Sky Castle, if I remember correctly, because I was not watching the introduction. It is a castle that is very Kirby themed, and it's also must have been ripped off from something because it is slightly better design, but also it's clear that the graphics that are used here do not match what should be. Anyway, making liberal use of the cape here because for one, the stage demands it. For another, this game does not really inspire me to do a very complete, legitimate playthrough. I'm flying over. I'll be flying over a lot more stuff later on, not because more because it just kind of the game makes me, then I'm just not interested in what there is. Some people don't like having the cape in the game entirely because, you know, you can fly with it. There are others who nerf it, which is, you know, their prerogative. But I like the cape as is. I think that if you're making stages that people want to fly over, then you're kind of already made a bad game. I mean, some people, they just fly over stages because they're lazy and they don't actually want to even try, which is, I don't know, why are you even playing the game if that's all you're going to do? Me, I say, I'm not going to fly over a stage unless I've played it a bunch of times already, or the stage is so terrible that it kind of needs to be flown over to not make me want to kill someone. That is my position, and some people don't take that position. I can't stop them. Anyway, we've got some really poor design decisions in some of these places, and hey, those switches are actually hurting me to have them. But most of the switches were actually helpful to have, so... And here is King DeDeDe. Just like the other bosses in this game, throwing a bunch of stuff and just kind of all over a mess. But hey, there's also a secret exit up here. And that's what I'm trying to get right now, because I don't really care to spend time with King DeDeDe down there. I will have to eventually, but... I really don't know what to think of that idea, but... here's me actually fighting King DeDeDe. He's Mauser, but he also drops these stupid, fire sledge bros, which are just kind of super annoying, in tandem with this. I don't know, because the first time I played him, he didn't throw any of those guys, but now he's just kind of tossing them all over the place. It's making me angry. But finally I take him down, and that's that. It would have been nice to have gotten him out of the way more quickly, but, you know, that's what happens sometimes. So that's both exits of the DeDeDe Castle, and now it's back to the Monochromatic Forest. Star Over Road. It's not Star Road, it's Star Over Road. This is just kind of another stage that I think was made by someone else and just really poorly done overall in this version. But those stars do different things. The blue stars send you careening in one direction. Yellow ones send you careening the other direction. Green ones are one way. And red ones kind of shoot you up. And red switch blocks give me feathers in this one. Not green, red. Why? Heck am I? And blue switch blocks go as P switches. There's a lot of walls here that are not actually walls. You've got to find your way through them. And there's just really are no tells at all as to whether there's a wall or not. Something that kind of bugs me to the supreme, but you know, what can I do? Also, watch me go back and forth between two directions. So yeah, you can see one of those stars you can fall through up there, which is annoying. And you might be wondering why I'm not hitting that hat that's actually P-switch. Is because some of those spots, I think you can just kind of you kind of need them to go on, to move on. Like the blue grates down there will, I believe, turn into coins. So I need to keep my bridge. But I do gotta get through these ones. At least that's what I think at the time. And it turns out to be accurate, although then I have the inability to get through those ones later, because now I don't have the P-switch. Thankfully, there is another P-switch. But getting it is like... one of the most annoying things ever. I don't like it when the game traps you in loops like that. Yeah, there goes the P-switch. But thankfully I can get through and get the exit. But of course, that's not the real exit. There's another exit. As you can probably tell by the red dot on the stage. But first, bonus stage. Which I don't really try all that hard at because, you know, I'm not playing a legit playthrough, so who cares about lives? But, yep, it's a red dot and it's going the wrong way. So, I need to go back and find the real exit. Oh boy. Now, the exit here, the real exit here, this is the stupidest thing. Yeah, it's another invisible wall, which, you know, how the hell are you supposed to know that? But then it's like, why do you even bother? Because it's literally 3 feet past the midpoint. Why do you have that midpoint? The midpoint is absolutely worthless in this stage. It makes me almost angry. Might make me angry if it was actually, you know, trying at all. But and then, hey, it's Castle 5. It's abysmal stage, but then again, that's kind of par for the course here. Yeah, super cramped corridors, barrels that don't actually work. All sorts of hazards that are just kind of everywhere and just kind of random. The graphics in the foreground and the background clash horribly. The clashing is just... You know this game wasn't really tested at all because, you know, it's visually just an absolute wreck. I don't really think I talk enough about it, but it's because there's like so many things that are going on that are bad in this game that... How do I talk about all of them in the right amount of time? At least there's no, like, super broken music like there was in the first Kollision. But it's still not a fan of the way that it's mostly done. Those barrels are just, they don't make a whole lot of sense. It's like sometimes they work and sometimes they don't, and they're not really barrels, they're the bounce pads that exist for some reason. You can see me getting trapped on them on occasion. Why are you doing this? What is the point? See, that first barrel wasn't actually a barrel, it was like an entry on those diagonal pipes. Oh, and here's something that's super. There is literally no way out of this midpoint room. I'm not sure where you would spawn in after the midpoint, but if it's down here, getting the midpoint basically makes the stage literally uncompletable. Because there's not enough room to fly, and there's no... I could not find any invisible blocks anywhere. Another example of super stellar stage design. And then we have Roy. Roy, thankfully, is not a boss like most of the bosses in the game. He's more like the Morton boss, which is an obvious blatant ripoff of Carol that was not done even 1/100th as well. Roy, I don't know, I don't recall if he was a Carol ripoff or not, because it's been way too long since I've seen that. And for some reason, the audio is acting weird. I don't know if that's the game or... I'm not sure. But it is... This is absolutely horrible design because, yeah, it's possible to get trapped forever. Because it's auto-scrolling and there is absolutely no indication of which path will murder you flat out. And it just feels like, you know, one of the worst things is when it's clear that effort isn't being put in. And it's pretty clear here that the effort was not put into this game. I know this is not actually complete, but most of these levels look like they were what they would be. And what they would be is bad. Anyway, that's all from me for now. Next time, Live Doc.